Baby fever. I'm 44. I've been married for 19 years, and I don't have any children. Hearing that, I assume that most people probably think I either tried for years and couldn't get pregnant, or I let my fertility slip away without realizing that I was out of time. But the simple truth is that I don't have a child because I've never wanted one. The more complicated truth is even though I was pretty sure in my early 20s that I didn't want kids, the lack of want has actually been a very confusing thing for me. When I was in my early 20s and other people my age started having kids, I could not for the life of me understand why they were rushing into parenthood. I babysat a ton as a teenager, so I knew I was definitely not ready to be a parent. But I expected I would eventually want to be a mom. Besides, everyone around me insisted that I would get hit with baby fever. Anytime I at all hinted that I didn't want a kid, I was reassured that the day would come when I basically wouldn't be able to live without one. That didn't sit well with my logical brain, but I was assured that it was the truth. My husband and I got married when I was 24, and we both agreed we didn't want kids. He had a kid, and he didn't want any more. But I secretly feared that I wouldn't be able to stick to that. I'd heard too many stories of women who suddenly got hit by baby fever after years of thinking that they didn't want kids. I had even been told that it was such a sure thing that I should go ahead and have kids while I was young, even if I didn't really want them. So I knew what was coming. All women eventually want to be mothers, and I did not expect to be any different. The years passed, I hit 30, and having babies still didn't seem appealing. Yet I still had this nagging thought that one day I would be bowled over by an uncontrollable yearning for a baby. Because that's what happens, right? That's what everyone says. So I was bracing for the urge to swoop in, beyond my control, beyond logic, so strong that I wouldn't be able to ignore it. I was dreading it. The switch would be flipped, and it would completely disrupt my life. When I reached my mid-30s, I decided I had been patient long enough. If everyone says it's coming, I was going to go make this baby fever thing go ahead and come to the forefront. I was going to go looking for it because I had heard the stories, and I was not going to be stupid enough to wait until it was too late. I started dropping hints to my husband that maybe someday I might change my mind. To my horror, he called my bluff. We could have a baby if that's what I really wanted, but we had to do it soon because he certainly didn't want to be raising one in his 60s. Hold on, buddy. I was trying to have a philosophical discussion about how a non-decision would become a permanent decision if I let my fertility slip away. I am just making conversation. No, now let's not all get crazy. No need to get ahead of ourselves. I had a clear, if less than enthusiastic, go-ahead from him. Why was this making me panic? Sex was immediately ruined. I could not stop worrying about getting pregnant. Now let me be clear, we never had unprotected sex. I was still on the pill. And yet the simple acknowledgement from him that he would be okay with me having a kid had made my head spin. Was it possible that I really never was going to want to be a mom? And why was that such a hard thing for me to accept? It was because I listened. I did. I paid attention to every woman who ever told me that one day, out of the blue, a visceral, inexplicable urge had hit them, and they suddenly needed kids. I listened so intently that I fully expected to change my mind. Or actually, I expected beyond all logic that my mind would be changed all on its own. But here I am, 44 years old, no kids, no baby fever in sight. Will it yet come knocking? Who knows? I'm not sure what I'll do if it does. Become a foster parent, maybe? adopt a child possibly. Maybe I'll start volunteering to cuddle babies in the NICU. I'll figure it out if it happens. After all of my analysis, the one thing I finally accepted about this baby fever thing is that as much as you can't logic your way out of baby fever, you can't logic your way into it either. Thank you.